was the one who had to give an explanation. A young woman, Quentin McGee, was murdered last night. Gordon Walters wanted me to see the crime scene before the body was moved. Sarah Booth, you're never going to catch a man unless you get enough sleep to keep the bags out from under your eyes. I stood up and faced Jitty. She would never have bags. She was dead. What's the story behind that get-up? I prefer the flapper look. I'm way over the roaring 20s. I'm headed to a ball. I hope everyone else is going in costume, too. Sarah Booth, this is the new me. I yearn for a time when there were social conventions. We need rules, structure, finesse. It's time people learned there are choices and consequences. Let them eat cake. I thought I was funny, but Jitty gave me a look that would curdle milk. Look around. Our country is crumbling on its foundations. When there are no rules, nothing is valued. And you think it was better when a king ruled on a whim? Let me just point out that you look French and dressed for the guillotine. Jitty hopped decades and demeanors like commuters hop trains. 1 month she was a Cosmo girl, and the next a novice for martyrdom. Today she was getting on my nerves. There has to be a ruling class. Even the Republicans know that. I made a chopping motion with my hand. I hope you picked out a nice basket. I wondered if it was Jitty or me who was remembering history incorrectly. I didn't have time to discuss it. I saw Tinky's forest green Cadillac pulling down the long drive between the bare sycamore trees. Sweetie Pie, my noble hound, was underneath one of the rockers on the front porch, and I heard her tail begin to thud a Latin dance rhythm when she saw Tinky's car. Sweetie rose, yawned, and trotted past me to the lawn to wait for Chablis, Tinky's dust mop of a canine. The Cadillac stopped, and Chablis was deposited out the driver's door before Tinky stepped out. Even though it was just past 6 in the morning, Tinky looked like she'd stepped out of the pages of Country Gentry. She wore an umber corduroy skirt and expensive boots that combined both the stables and chic. "Is it true? Someone murdered Quentin McGee?" She headed toward me at full tilt. I nodded. It was a terrible scene. She came and put her arm around me. Though she was a good 7 inches shorter than me, her compassion was never vertically limited. "Come inside, and I'll fix us both a Bloody Mary. We can have a little libation on a cold Sunday morning." She hustled me inside and back to the kitchen. Once I was seated, she prepared 2 spicy Bloody Marys and put one in my hand. "When I got your message, I was curious as to why Gordon Walters came and got you." She pierced me with her blue gaze. She had a point. Gordon was acting sheriff of Sunflower County because the elected sheriff, Coleman Peters, had taken an extended leave of absence to take his insane/pregnant wife to a head-shrinking obstetrician. I think Gordon was covering his bases. He's figuring, what would Coleman do? This could work to our advantage. I felt Tinky's sharp gaze on me. She was waiting for my reaction, but I refused to give her one. Only the previous month I'd been in the wretched position of having to choose between my love for Coleman, the sheriff, and my potential love for the wealthy and handsome Hamilton Garrett V. I'd made a muddle of all of it and lost my chance with Hamilton. I'd never really had a chance with Coleman. He was married, and crazy wife or not, he felt obligated to honor that commitment. Tinky was watching to see if I was backsliding on my vow to keep Coleman out of my heart. Having Gordon roust me out at 4 in the morning could work to our advantage if you think freezing your butt off in a cotton field is a good thing. We don't have a client in this case. But we could have, and you're on the case from the very beginning. Tinky went to the refrigerator and got out bacon, eggs, heavy whipping cream, and bread. I'm starving, and I'm sure Oscar has gone on to the club for an early breakfast with Harold and the boys. I think they're going to play a round of golf.